Hello, peeps. It's a new year. A whole new year. We get a redo. 2026. That's crazy. Yeah. So I know and you know that everyone and their brother is setting New Year's resolutions. And I know and you know that every one of them, probably, maybe one might follow through. Every other person, they'll be done with those New Year's resolutions in 3 weeks. It's why gyms exist because the big rush of like, sign up now and you'll be able to lose 20, 30, 50, whatever pounds in X amount of time. And you only have to sign up for $20 a month. And then you sign up, the money gets taken out, you stop going by February, and the gyms get to keep your money because you forget to cancel that membership. Online memberships happen too. I had to go through anyone else have to go through all the subscriptions and memberships that we have that we don't even use. Ridiculous. We sign up for these things and then we realize like we're not even using this. And that's what they count on. New year, new you. And so I wanted to talk about New Year's and a new resolve. I for one, and I think I've talked about this probably in other past years, I do not believe in New Year's resolutions. I don't make them. It's just not my thing. Also, if you know me by now, you know I am not a goal setter. I probably am a goal setter, but in an unconservative way. I'm not a goal setter. I tried doing my whole family does the Michael Hyatt planner thing. I got that, and my highly sensitive personality, I was like, it's too many things. It's too many questions. I just want to fill out a date. I want to take some little notes. I have an Erin Condon planner, and it has like a meal plan that you can order the inserts for. I ordered that. I like to make lists. I'm a list maker. And I like to check off the list and cross out the list or move the list over to the next day. But I don't want to do all these other businessy kind of things. And so I'm not New Year's resolution. I'm not a goal setter, but I'm a list taker. And I think for me, I'm an intentional list maker. And I will have dreams and desires of things that I would like to do and accomplish throughout the year, but I don't put a timeline on it because I just feel like I'll do a long term, like maybe by the end of the year I want to do this, but it's not like by this date and this thing, there's my gold star. My husband is so good at this. He is a type A personality. He's also a firstborn child. So this makes perfect sense. I don't even know how we have made it for 40 years because I am so opposite of that. Like, I think I bring the fun and he brings the serious. So when I get like loopy and out of control, he's like, reel it back in. I'm all, okay. And then when he's too serious, I'm like, snap out of it. Let's have fun. And he's like, okay. So it works. But he loves just setting goals and having these timelines, and he does that really well. For me, it stresses me out. It's why, thank goodness for my publishing company, I had sort of a timeline that I wanted to do my latest book, but it wasn't set in stone. And as it turned out, it took way longer than what I anticipated, but it also was the exact timing that I needed. And so I always just trust the process. I'm like, you know what? If I miss that deadline, it's okay. If it's something really important, I will hit that deadline. But I'm a good list maker of things that going down that are important. And then by terms of importance, that's what's going to get done first. So here we are again with a whole 12 months to go ahead of us. And what are you going to do this year? Like, what are your goals? So for me, I finished this book and now it's like, okay, so I probably need to move forward in something, something that either personally, like maybe, organizing my house. I know that for me, I have this goal of I've been slowly getting rid of things. As I've turned 68, it's like I hit this new milestone where I'm like, I don't really need stuff anymore. And there's a lot of stuff in my house. And so I've been taking a lot of donations to Goodwill. It's like there's extra clothes. I was teasing my oldest daughter, Ariel, the other day, was like, I'm thriving right now. I have these friendships where we're actually going out on mom dates, and we're going to these events, and I get to put on the lashes and put a nice dress on. And I said, and I'm on the other end of that, where I'm hitting this age where I'm like, yeah, I don't really, I'm not really invited to so many weddings anymore. Mike is retired, so we're not going to business dinners. We don't need to, I don't need to like find the perfect dress for that event so much anymore. I still have some dresses in there that I've worn once, so I'm like, I could certainly wear those again. So things start changing, but it's like I have decided that one of my goals is to, my kind of goals, not typical goals, but one of my goals is to start going through like kitchen things. Like, do I need that many pots and pans and bowls and dishes? My youngest daughter, who just got a house last year, needs those things. And so she said, hey, before you give them away, show them to me because I may want those. And so that's kind of this year, I'm like downsizing some things because between the two homes that we have, we don't need a lot of stuff anymore. We just need just enough for our grandkids and our family. Once in a while, some people to come over. We're not throwing huge parties anymore. We're not doing that kind of stuff. And so that's kind of a new goal setting thing, is to downsize. So that's something you could do this year. I don't know. I think every time we set a goal and then you don't hit it, there's a disappointment there. Kind of like you start feeling like you're almost beating yourself up. Like, why can't I accomplish this? Like, this makes me feel bad. I think that's why I don't like goal setting, is because there's the downside that if you don't hit that mark, it makes you feel bad. And so for me, I just like an intentional list, and that kind of helps with me. I think too, like being disappointed, like I was saying with my husband, who's a type A personality, he can set a goal and hit it, and it just makes him feel great. But for me, who's someone who is middle child, also someone who has had major childhood trauma, it's no surprise. Goal setting is really hard for those of us that have gone through any kind of a trauma, because it's hard for us to focus. It's hard for us to stay on task. It's hard for us to follow through. And we have too many thoughts in our head that when it all gets jumbled up in there, it paralyzes us, and then we do nothing. That is my brain in a nutshell. If you give me too many tasks, or if you tell me it has to be XYZ, like in a line by this date, and then you got to do this and this and this and this, I'm just like, it freaks me out. I have to do one little bite. It's like, I don't know who came up with it. I don't like that narrative, but it was like, how do you eat an elephant? It was like one bite at a time. I love elephants. I'm not going to eat an elephant. Anyway, sidetrack. That's how my brain works. But that's kind of like, you have to look at your personality of what kind of a person are you for this new year and how you want to set it up. If you're a goal setter and you're really good with like keeping on task, then New Year's resolutions for you will be great. But for someone like me, that's more of a sensitive person, that has more trauma than the normal person, I have to go at a slower pace. I have to do things a little bit more simply and give myself grace along the way. But the goal is to finish something really different and really good, and finish it nicely, hopefully by the end of the year. That would be nice. So this is a perfect time for you to write down some things that you've been dreaming about. So what has God been nudging you to do? And you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those things that wake you up in the middle of the night and they're going through these scenarios in your head of like, oh, I've always wanted to do this. And you hear God going like, I have this for you. You can do this. Like, here, why don't you do X, Y, Z? And then you're wrestling with God. You're like, no, 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 I can't do that. That's too big of a dream. I'm not going to do that. Gosh, I really want to do that. And he will drop things in your head and you start debating him because we just think we know better. And I think that the goal of that is to really listen to that voice when you're waking up in the middle of the night and you're like, I wonder what it would be like to go back to school. Maybe I could take an online course while I'm working. I wonder what it would be like to do XYZ. And and then you start like backing off of that. I would say instead of that, leaning into it and writing out, what was that dream about? What is that thing that always keeps nagging me in the back of my head? For me, writing, like writing a book. I love to read. I've always loved to read. I've always loved writing. I can remember 25 years ago taking creative writing classes out at our local college and just saying maybe someday I could write the perfect novel or a good fiction book, never knowing that I was going to write a memoir, but there was that dream. And so I just kept moving forward in that. And that's what kind of those resolves are, those resolutions are, is like finding that thing that's going to move you forward. And then maybe you get halfway through by the end of the year, or maybe you hit the finish line. But it's not about you being better because you finished it. It's just about you moving to a different place. This is why people get stuck in their lives of never accomplishing where they want to get, either career-wise or personally. I see people going like, I always wanted to get this kind of house. And I'm like, well, what are the steps that can get you to that house? Maybe you do need to switch careers. Maybe you need to save a little bit more. Maybe you need to move to a different place so that you can afford that kind of house that you want. It can look different for everybody. If you keep yourself in a box of not exploring those things, that is what resolutions are. There are these ideas that you can resolve, that you can change and fix and get to. And when we don't do that at the beginning of the year, it's then like every year it just keeps being the same thing over and over. I kept dreaming one day, like one day I'm going to have this nice house with a white picket fence. And, I wanted that dream house. That house doesn't look exactly the same as what I had dreamt as an 8-year-old little girl. It's even better. When I had a good realtor that said, I'm going to take you to all kinds of different houses, even the kinds that I know you don't want a house with stairs, but I'm going to take you to these beautiful homes because I want to see what are the qualities that you like. This is the best thing about creating resolutions. I think this was like one of the most creative things that this realtor could have done is he said, I want to see what drives you. What are the things? And it was, I needed a big kitchen. Guess what? I loved a courtyard. I love a pool. I like a nice backyard, but not too big. I don't like stairs. At that point, we were getting away from a 2-story house. All these little things, right? And he wrote down all these little things. And one day he called me and said, there's a house that hasn't come on market yet in my neighborhood, and I think this is your dream house. And that's where I'm sitting right here today, is in that dream house. It's beautiful, it's perfect for us, but we kept moving the needle, right? Took 2 years. It was not an overnight thing. We looked at, I don't even, no less than 20, maybe 30 houses over that time, just looking and seeing, what is that new thing that we want to do? When do we get to the finish line of that? You will never succeed in the things that you want if you just keep staying in your little bubble year after year and not improving yourself. The reason I'm sitting here today is because I kept improving myself. It was like I did different things when the kids were growing up. And then once the kids were gone, it was like, now how do I recreate? What do I do? I have to do a new resolve. I have to do something new. And so then that became, let me go take learn about the writing process and take writing courses and things like that to get to be in this position. And then it led to coaching, and then it leads to podcasting, and it leads to all these different things. But each year I kept writing little lists. What do I want to do? What do I want this to look like? And so I think that is better than just having a New Year's resolution of just one thing. It's like, look at your whole life as a whole, look at it and see what are those things that I can change? What are the things I want to improve on? So list taking for me is a better thing. Now is the time. We are at the beginning of the year. You have a whole year to accomplish anything that you want. And how great would it feel if at the end of the year you can tell everyone that you took one step forward and you just kept going, and they're starting to see the progress, and it's making you feel good, and it's giving you that confidence to keep going and doing more. The timeline is yours. That's the difference of what we're doing here. So a New Year's resolution, it's like you have to accomplish this by a certain date, and if you don't, you're a failure. But in this kind of outlook of the way I live my life is that the finish line isn't the goal. Starting the journey is. It's how I wrote 2 books. It's how I started getting certifications. It's how I search for our houses. I spent time searching, researching, moving forward, joining the groups, doing the things that move the needle in your life. So the 3 things that I want to just leave with you today is journaling is key in this process. You want to write down those little things that spark your interest. It's January. You have the whole year. Like, what do you want this year to look like? What are some things that you want to do? Maybe you want to take singing classes. Like, I don't even know what it is, but it's like, what do you want to do that's going to fulfill your heart need, that's going to make you move the needle to a different place where you're not sitting in your house day after day or coming home from work exhausted and going, what is this life all about? Like, move the needle, like keep doing some things that this is also going to keep you young. If you sit in your house and just grow old, you will be old and you will be stagnant. If you keep moving that needle, you're going to have a youthful spirit. You're going to learn more things. You're going to be vibrant and you're going to be ready for life. And life doesn't end at 68. That's what I keep telling myself. Life doesn't end at 68. One of the things that our pastor talked about one day was we were looking at this picture. He showed this picture and he said, do you see an older woman or a younger woman? And it was about the sermon he did on gratitude, which is a podcast episode I did earlier. And I looked at Mike and I said, I see a younger woman. And I think Mike saw the older woman after. He saw the younger woman first. I still couldn't find the older woman. And the difference was, as the pastor said, when you see a younger person, it's because you have more vibrancy, and it's like the glass half full, half empty. He said, if you see an older person, it's because that's what you see in life. It's like everything's old. That's where you are in life. You're just kind of like, this is where I am. When you look for the joy, you're going to see the lightness, right? The younger person, the one that's more vibrant, that kind of thing. It's kind of interesting when you do those pictures where it could look like one thing or another, but it's how your attitude is. That's the point of that whole thing, is like, where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself stagnant, or do you see yourself here in January going, you know what? This is exciting. We have a whole year to do something different and do something new. So write down and narrow it to 1 or 2 things. Don't overwhelm your brain. Maybe it's just one thing you want to concentrate on this year. Maybe it's going back to school, taking online classes, or changing a career to improve your current job. Or maybe it's a vacation that you desperately want to take. How can you make that happen? So then you're going to narrow this down to 1 to 2 tasks that can be completed within the month. You're never going to get out of your current situation by being stagnant. Most people complain about the things in their life that aren't working, but they don't know how, or they're too scared to make a change. This is your year. Make the change. This is key. Ask other people to hold you accountable. My family pushes me when my confidence starts to wane, and it will. This is why resolutions don't work. It's like you're super excited in January, and then by February 1st, you're like, oh man, this is so hard. It's so different. Yeah, change is hard and it is different. And it's something that you're going to have to really like push your brain to go into those places of change. It's how you rewire your brain. It's very neuroscience backed up by science. You do have to switch how you think. And that is a hard task. So that's why I tell you, do one thing. Don't try to overwhelm yourself with a bunch of other things, but have people hold you accountable. When I don't have good motivation and I think that I'm going to disappoint my family, like they're there to say, like, you got this, mom. Go out and do this. Don't give up. Like, you can do this. You're smart. So I start feeling those, like, I'm going to disappoint my family. Like, I'm not a good motivator. Like, I'm tired. Like, all these things. But when they start speaking life into me, it excites me. And then I want to gain more knowledge. I want to complete something because it means a lot to me and I know it means a lot to them. And like I said earlier, don't let your trauma wounds get in the way of your dreams or your goals. So I hope this episode helped you. I really wish for you guys to do something new this year. I am waiting to see if I'm getting into a year-long another certification program that I really want to get into. I'm waiting to hear back from them. And that is going to be my list for this year. I'm going to concentrate on just that one thing. And if I get in, and that is going to be a lot of reading and researching and meeting with other top leaders in this. And we have to work with them one-on-one. It's going to be amazing, and it's going to be kind of a struggle, and it's going to be exciting to learn something new. And so I'll keep you updated and see where I end up by the end of the year. But what is your one thing that you want to do to accomplish to get you to a better place, a happier place in your life, something that makes you feel good about your life? Like where are you going to be this time in December where you're like, man, that felt really good. I got to go on this journey. And remember, it doesn't matter if you finish it or not. It matters that you started the journey. So until next time, peeps, I will see you later.